Pisces, to save some time, I already shuffled the cards and laid them out. And as always, I will be teaching tarot through each card so you not only receive your message, you can grow your own intuitive skills, which is what this channel is all about. And this week, I need you to focus on the wish, okay? I'm going to pop around a little bit because it's a funky McGunky reading, and most of it is from you just being tangled up inside and kind of leading with a negative narrative because of the tough times you've been through. I don't want you losing your hope and your faith, because this is where God and the universe are really getting into action here. We were making really good progress over the last couple of weeks here, Pisces. So I don't want you to go backwards. And it's really, again, that inner narrative, that a little insecurity, fears, and doubts that are kind of stirring up with you, which is completely normal for everybody. But there's really good news on the horizon. And God wants you to keep your eye on the kind of the light, okay, this week. Let's get into why I'm saying it. And we start off with one of the best cards in tarot to me in the first card placement, the significator. The general gist of the reading is the Six of Pentacles. It's the gift of money in tarot. It's the only card that means that out of the 78 card deck, all right? But what's interesting to me is the second card, which is crossing that energy from not allowing it to manifest. So the Six of Pentacles wants to give you the gift of money, but the Star is kind of preventing it. And the Star is one of the toughest cards in the major arcana because it brings you to your knees. But when it appears for me, that light is starting to shine on you. Even in that dark sky, we can still see light, right? The stars are shining for us. And now it's getting brighter around you. I know this, but the star is so tough in its journey to get to the end, because it's kind of like a let go, let God situation. God and the universe are pressing you in so many different ways to shape you for your betterment. Okay, so don't doubt this, especially when we're right at the first yard line. We're ready to go over the touchdown, okay? And the gift here is the Six of Pentacles. So rise yourself up. Believe in the positive nature of the star, because that's really what it's there for. While it's tough, it's all about you growing emotionally and spiritually, and now even financially. So, but I can't get it to you if you're all kunky McGunky in your own mindset. You're going to miss the opportunities that come in your way. And I'll also say this: if you want money to materialize out of that tough stuff, stand up. Start to move forward, because part of this reading is saying that you're like a deer in the headlights. You're just paralyzed. And I don't want you to be like that. I need you to start to slowly just take one step forward. And if you need time to kind of do isolation or self-reflection, connect with God in the meditative state, the universe, get your answers, get your soul and your spirit back in balance, detoxify your body, detoxify your mindset and your heart, that's on hand here as well. So the first card is a significator. So I got the Six of Pentacles. But the way I'm feeling about myself in the seventh card placement is another major arcana card, the Hermit. And that literally means I want to take some time, downtime. I need some time to myself. I need some retrospective time to kind of see what's happened over the last year and a half, and kind of decipher it, because I think that's been part of the problem for Pisces. You've been having to keep constantly moving ahead, and you haven't been able to really shift kind of fully of what has happened to you and the changes that have been taking place. So God wants to give you that break, but don't think that break is not going to lead you to money. I think the break is going to lead you to the next opportunities that you've been looking for that cash, right? All right. And the Six of Pentacles could come in a lot of different forms. I've seen it in cash from like stock options, people selling stuff, inheritance, to sweat equity. It comes in a lot of different forms, even discounts on bills and so on. But I can't get it to you if you're like wallowing in the star of the hardness of it, because it's done with you now. And I'm going to validate that as well in God's placement. In the third card placement, I like to say how God wants to help us navigate the week. We've got the funky McGunky Five of Wands. Five is funky in tarot because it's good luck in numerology and tarot. But in tarot, there's always something to get over. And here, it's our creative energy of not being scared, not letting doubt or insecurities or fears and anxieties that have rightly been built up from the start. Don't get me wrong. It's an intense card. But again, when she appears, she's leaving you, but you're still lingering in the doubt and the insecurity. So I need you to kind of, like what my card represents, get over the dragons. All your wands are there. No harm done. Yeah, you took some hits, but you're still standing, right? You're still ready to move. And again, Pisces, I have to say, this is the breaking of the material world to the spirit. Remember, you're part ram and part fish. So God's really trying to get you to the fish part and break that stranglehold, but get you the reward and take you and care for you and nurture you, not only just in the spiritual world, but the material world too. I know you've made it through this. Maybe it's toughy McGuffy, but again, that's part of the breaking of the material. We have to let go, let God here as well. And you've been doing it and have done it. So now comes the reward. Like I've said, this last couple of weeks, we've been making progress. So let's not stumble here. And what might be some pressure here too, in the fourth card placement is the gut of the matter, I like to say, with the beautiful card of the Three of Cups. It's falling in love with marriage, partnership, relationship. It's bringing things down to another level. It's a celebratory state for the heart. And it could just be celebrating good people and good news around you after a really tough time, you know? So like whatever that is, trust that light, because that's the spark that's giving the flame to you. All right. So trust that you can fall in love. But if you're like saying, oh, I can't, let's say you're in a partnership, or you want to get married or do something like that, or take care of somebody, and you're all wound up about money. How is money going to come to you if you're so wound up in worry and anxiety? It's not going to happen. You've got to lead with the heart. And also, too, I'll tell you this, the heart has got to take over the mind. The spirit has got to take over the mind, because that's where all anxiety, fears, and doubt live, right? And then it infects our heart, it poisons our blood, and it poisons our attitude and our approach. And I'm here to stop that today, because you've got such good news and you're such good-hearted people, and God wants to get that reward for the tough stuff you've been through. And the fifth card placement in what we're leaving right now or behind us is the Seven of Cups. So the contemplation, meditation, the new areas of the heart. So you've already been kind of faced with the crossroads. Like, what do you really want to do for your heart? That seems to be the theme for Pisces at all. And the more you fight that and kind of go after the gold coin exclusively, the more you're going to break. I could just tell you, because I've been there, done that. So the seven is like the past reflection. So you've been looking about what to kind of do to execute for your heart, and that's a beautiful place for a Pisces to start. Okay, but now you're like getting kind of like shadowlandy. You're going backwards again, like with the star, because in the presente card, the sixth card placement is the moon, another major arcana card. And the moon and the star are literally two of the toughest cards in the deck to me, because they literally bring you to your knees, like you see in the star. With the moon, you're kind of floating on the water for a while, all happy, hey, hey, hey. Then all of a sudden something grabs you by the ankles and you feel like you're drowning. And it's not, either one of these cards are a small arc. They're a long time and it's drawn out. And like I said, the harder that we're fighting those changes or those lessons that we need to embrace instead of turn our back on, the harder the lesson in the journey is, okay? But again, with both of these cards, when it appears in a reading for me, it means that it's over with. But I'll also say, because the Hermit is appearing here in that seventh card placement of self, and the moon and the star both have a non-exalted state of wanting to retreat, but retreating too far. You know, getting in this, like in the corner, too scared, and every little shadow is spooking you. And I get that, because that's the moon. She really literally does that to you, because you can't get your footing. You don't know where to go next. Your mind is all foggy. You feel like you're in the depths. But that's the lesson. How else am I going to get you to let go, let God? How else am I going to build that self-esteem and that self-confidence that, you know, you can't take away other than when you have walked with God in these kind of tough situations? And that's what these cards reflect. So I don't want you getting spooked about anything, all right? You've already been through the toughest stuff, so don't let the dragons of the Five of Wands get to you, right? Okay, come on. Buy into the love of the Three of Cups and lead with the heart, Pisces. When you guys do that, that's the best of all, right? And the Hermit is even here to help you as well. Because the Hermit, again, in modern day tarot, the way we're feeling about ourselves with this major arcana card in that placement, it's, you know, I need to get that time to God and meditate and so on. But to me also, he's a spiritual warrior. You have the Hierophant in the tarot, which is the priest that take the universal message of God and then make it a material reality. It's more a traditional religion in the way that we connect with God in the universe in that way. But well, I guess you wouldn't even use universe in traditional way. So get that. Universe would fall under the Hermit, because he's more concerned about finding people that want to connect with God through honesty, truth, and sincerity. He's on the front lines protecting people like that. And that one of those people is you. And one of those people that has now become the Hermit because of those life lessons is you. So he cuts away the BS with that big Sith. He has a good connection and a special connection with God with that raven on his shoulder. And he's got that big light of wisdom, that lantern ready to share experiences. So if there's any way that you want to be of service in that area or just explore more spiritual arts or your own domain in those areas, that's definitely encouraged. Remember, Pisces rules that. You're the 12th sign. You're going to have all the stuff, the kit and caboodle of the zodiac signs of life lessons, but you're also going to get the benefits. And this gets manifested in the Hermit. And I'll also say this, just coming out of the dark times, the Hermit in older decks, you wouldn't even see the lantern because tarot had to go underground, right? He had to cover the lantern of that knowledge because other people weren't digging it. But now in this modern day time, hey, we're kicking the door in and we're coming out to share this beautiful, unique skill set that tarot offers us to help guide us through the day. So good kudos to you. And if you haven't picked up a tarot deck or anything like that, maybe you should do so because it's really easy to learn through your own life experiences when the cards are helping you. And always remember, if you're going with a good intention and good heart and God's protection, how can you go wrong? God wants to get you the answers, doesn't want to keep them from you, right? And other people value you in a way that is really beneficial for you here, right? Okay, so in the viewpoint of how other people view us, in the eighth place card placement, we have the Nine of Pentacles, the ending journey in the area of the material, right? In the minor arcana, family, home, relationship, community, our bodies, our health, the food and the drink that we take in all fall under the nine. But it's again a completion state in the minor arcana, right? People look at you as someone that could take up those life challenges in those areas. Remember, there's certain things that are important in the material world, but the spirit world of family and relationship and the way that you make people feel and the support emotionally and spiritually is worth as much as the financial too. Okay, so don't look at that glass half empty of your own value maybe against the gold coin. I think that's what's coming out is here, and it's been coming out for a while. But look at how other people look at you. All those coins are at your feet. You didn't scatter them. They weren't chaotic. They might have been chaotic through certain periods of the journey. That's the pentacles, right? But hey, you gathered them all back together and you got a solid foundation to build upon the next journey. That's what this kind of says. It's because it's got a lot of past reflection and new stuff coming in. So I want you to focus on that. Like there's a big wish to be had, and we're going to get to that in a second. Okay? And you only get to these kind of the Hermit card, and I'll definitely say that with the Star and the Moon. You do not get to those cards unless you've been a good egg, trying the very best that you can under like that pressure, right? Of coal turning into a diamond, and you got in the universe's eyes. But it means you did it. And there's big karma. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. There's good karma to come out of that. Okay, so believe, believe, believe. All right, and I want you to believe because in the ninth card placement, in our hopes and fears, we've got the Nine of Swords. Completion state here in the area of our thoughts. To the ancient tarot, it was about our identity, fighting for who we are, how we want to live our life, how we want to think, how we want to work, how we want to love, how we just want to live. Everyone's got an opinion about it, and you've been breaking it and striving to be your own self. So I don't want you to have doubts right now about your own identity, your self-confidence, your self-esteem, because you already built that, right? I know you know this. If you get into that quieted state, you say, oh, wow, look how much I've changed over the last year, 2 years, 3 years. Pat yourself on the back how much you've grown. It's not the butterflies and unicorns that get you there, guys. It's going to be the tough stuff that grows us in those life lessons, right? And now we've got ourselves all tangled up in the nightmare card. So there's no real, other than the hope here, to untangle it. Okay? It's like a garden of weeds that's overgrown. We just got to go in there and pull them out. And every time you pull one out, replace it. I love myself. Look how much I've accomplished. People love me and look at me in a light that's really something that's got going on in family and home and relationship and work. I'm the hermit, right? I've got God's gift of the Six of Pentacles. I've traveled the moon and the star. Come on. Traveling the moon and the star is crazy. I can't tell you. All right. And part of it was breaking the dollar, okay, or the coin or whatever your currency is in your head, right? Okay. But that was a life lesson. It had to go by the wayside because I got to get you full spirit. So let's get out of the fear part of the Nine of Swords because the only thing that's generating that nightmare is yourself. Like I said, the mind is taking over, and that's not a great place for a Pisces. It needs to lead with spirit and heart because that's your domain. That's what you rule, all right? It's not going to let you down. And the validation here is in the outcome card. And the 10th card placement is a Nine of Cups. A completely different nine when it comes to the heart. The Nine of Cups in tarot means the wish card. So I've got the nightmare card, which I can't see the wish or even make a wish because I'm so overwhelmed in my own thinking and my own anxiety that's spewing up, right? How am I going to formulate a wish for God? or it'll be all scattery or not really fully developed, or it's just maybe even not like, in the nicest ways, because that's part of the challenge here too, is making sure our thoughts stay nice so it doesn't come out our mouth and our actions, right? That's part of here. And we've learned that in the moon and the star. So follow with the heart and follow with the wish. Anytime you see it, find yourself getting yanky McGanky up, right? Settle, take a breath, settle, 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 and then say, oh, God has a wish for me. What is that wish do I want it to be? All right. And then all of a sudden you're down a whole other avenue of brightness and potential and love, right? And I'm going to stick with it because in the bonus card, it's a page of wands. And that's God's message in the universe to you. Let's go fly for the area of the creative. Don't be scared. Let's go fly. You're telling yourself, it's almost like some of these cards are saying, I got this great idea. I got this new stirring. I know change is happening. I could feel it. I could even feel the money around me, right? That vibration. But now I'm talking myself out of it because it's been too hard under the moon and the star. How could things get better? How could I try again? How could I put myself out there? And I'm a little tired. I get it. Been there, done that. But the only way that you're going to do it is by opening your heart, your spirit, and your eyes, right? And in this case, too, your hands to say, what God, I give to you. I've given to you. Now trust that God and the universe has a big gift back to you. But what is it, Pisces? So I would suggest this week, just focus on that, because that will untangle the mindset, settle the heart and the spirit, and get you back in balance. And that's what we need this week, okay? So thanks for visiting the channel. Have a good one, guys. It's a good one, okay? Keep the course, stay steady, and it'll all be good, all right? And that's the lesson here. You know it already. So thanks for visiting the channel. If you're so inclined to like or subscribe, the love has been amazing. Thanks so much, everybody.